And coming away with it will wind up being the Hartford Hawks as they start their first offensive possession and get themselves going. A cut towards the middle, Clyde Donis, and a big save by the Seahawks goalkeeper, but a putback, wind up getting put back by Ty Schultz, and he'll put it to the back of the net, and a quick goal here out of the gate. Baseball going on a double dip against Yale, and cranking back, shooting and scoring is Jared Franzi from about 11 yards out off to the left of Gibaldi, and the Hartford Hawks now lead this one 2-0. Here is Martin Bose. Cranks back in, winds up beating Gibaldi over the right shoulder. A 3-0 lead here for the Hartford Hawks on a Martin Bose goal. Campus have made their way on out to Almar Zickfield at Alumni Stadium to support this lacrosse squad. Comes it back on out to Gathing. Ginnick, and he shoots and he scores. A feed from Campatello to Ginnick as he puts it to the back of the net, and the Hartford Hawks grow their lead to 5-1.
After 24-4 victory here for the Hartford Hawks, they improved to 3-6, sitting down with the seventh-year head coach Pete Lawrence. And let's start off in the first period. 15 seconds to go. You guys are up 3-1, and you don't take a shot. Why?
At the end of the first?
Yeah.
I was hoping that we were going to, but because there were matching penalties, I was thinking that we were going to start with possession in the second half, if that hadn't been the case. But I didn't realize since there were matching penalties that we weren't going to get possession. But, yeah, that would have been a better play, right?
I told all the listeners that you would have a good answer for me. Let's move on over to let's move over to the second period. You wind up setting a new season high, 10 goals in one period, shut them down. What just turned your offense on and just wind up clicking on all cylinders?
I think, like I've said to you before, when we get good goalie play, we win face-offs, and you can start playing make it take it. That's what we used to do a lot last year, So I think, Ty, we had a good performance there from him, and I think Scotty was great. Early especially, they got a lot of shots early in the game, and he made some really good saves until the defense started clicking. But I think that's the formula. It's like you win face-offs, you get goalie saves, you're going to get transition, and we knew they tend to sub a lot on the fly, so we knew we could take advantage of that. That was one of the things we said was one of our keys to victory.
You guys were able to play a lot of players along bench today. There was a bunch of players that scored their first career goals. Talk about that, as well as you had the freshman in St. George make a couple saves as well.
Sure, yeah, no, they all stepped up, and I said that to the team at halftime. I said, it's up to the starters, in the first 5 minutes of that third, quarter to, finish the job, and that way everybody gets to play. Those guys work hard every single day. They just happen to be behind some other, more experienced players, and I think the future looks bright when you see some of the things that those guys can do when they get a chance to play. But really, outside of this game in Brown, most of those guys haven't really played a ton this season, so it's nice when everybody gets to play.
Wagner, a struggling team, still in search of their first victory at 0-8. The guys are probably really high off this win, a 20-goal win, but obviously from a coaching standpoint, there are some things that you'll pick up on
Sure.
mistakes. How can you improve off of this, still kind of keep the guys high, but improve on some things getting ready for UMBC next weekend?
I mean, our focus, needs to be on just some of the fundamentals. And today we missed some first-time ground balls that we need to be able to pick up, and just some other little simple things that I think we still need to correct as we get ready for the conference. But I think this is we've won 2 out of our last 3, so I feel like we're starting to kind of get it together. But like I said, pregame is, we've still been tinkering with the lineup a little bit, and so I liked some of the things that we did today a little bit better, the way we use some of our guys, and I think some of those things work. So I think we'll continue to do some of those things, but yeah, it's still fundamentals for us.
Congratulations on the victory.
Thank you.
All right, it's head coach Pete Lawrence. The Hartford Hawks wind up setting a new record with 24 goals scored dating back to 2002. They'll wind up hitting the road next weekend as they begin conference play against UMBC. Stay tuned to HartfordHawks.com for more information.